Hello and welcome to Spirit Forest. We are having another adventure. We're gonna go backpacking again in the wintertime in Colorado. I am currently at Golden Gate Canyon State Park. Not hiking a lot of miles again, but more miles than I did last time. So again, baby steps, and I'm kind of stepping up. I learned a lot from my last backpacking event. My first time winter backpacking, and if you haven't seen that, go ahead and click there to watch that adventure. This is my second time trying this, as I always like to challenge myself. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this park, but what I'd like to do is I want to get back to get up to my campsite here. I'm going to kind of show you some of the beauty in this area here in the valley. Now it is extremely windy. I actually had to find a spot where it didn't have a lot of wind, but this is ridiculous windy here. So I'm hoping I can film a lot, but we'll find out. This isn't too bad. It's not icy like the last one. It's more snow-packed. They have icy spots, but so last time I was backpacking, my pack was about 55 to 60 pounds. I think probably 55. Now it's 40, which I made some changes. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, learned a little bit, but I also added some stuff, and that's why it's still 40. I have some extra camera gear in my bag now, and because I want to try some stuff. I actually brought the drone this time. I gotta breathe. Whew. I brought the drone, but it's really windy. So I'm hoping like maybe at night the wind goes away and I can put up the drone. But it's too windy for the drone to go up right now. It's gonna get stuck in a tree or something, get blown into a tree. Did I say I brought my spikes? I have my spikes. Do you see them? Oh, that's my camera. I have a little, oh, I got my spikes. Did not forget those, and I'm really happy I didn't, because I'd be slipping all over. But this is good. You know, you still when you hike in snow, every step you make, you kind of slide down a little bit, especially when you're climbing. So it's more like a half inch you go down every time you make a step, but the spikes help with that. Isn't this pretty though? I'm starting to sweat, so I just don't want to be really like wet when I get to my campsite, because it is, what was it, 18 degrees and a lot of wind. So I'm just kind of keep taking it easy. Taking a lot of videos for you. It's a lot of climbing. It's good though, it's good for me. Okay, keep climbing. Okay, I just want to show you really fast how important it is to bring spikes in these winter months in Colorado. There's a little bit of snow on top here, but that, like, you can almost ice skate on, even with my spikes. Do you see how it's scratching it? Even with my spikes, I'm slipping. So it's pretty much just sheet ice. Really, really dangerous if you don't have spikes. So if you're planning on hiking in Colorado in the winter months, you know, mostly January and February time, this is a spike season, you know. Could even be December and March too, but always have them in your pack. It is frowned upon to hike off the trail, like on the side of the trail, to avoid the icy areas by some hardcore hikers. They want you to hike on the trail to keep our trails really nice and thin. So I just wanted to kind of let you know that. Whew. You climbing the whole way. I don't know what the elevation gain is. I didn't actually even look. I just knew what the mileage was, and I was like, that's good. But it's a lot of climbing. I did okay though. Like, I passed a couple hikers, and some 20-year-old boys passed me, so I felt fine. I'd say, you go ahead and pass me. And did I tell you I'm the only one out here? Yeah, the girl you have to get a permit to camp out here. So I walked into the visitor center and said, I need a permit. She's like, okay. And I said, for the backcountry. She's like, are you crazy? Said I might be. I don't know, but I think I like this kind of stuff. She was really cool though. Yeah, no, she's really sweet and nice, and she told me that she gave me some advice of what's out there. I said, do I need to bring my snowshoes? And she said no. No, I probably don't. She said none of the campsites have snow on them. And I was like, oh, okay. So far, this is the second campsite, number 2. It has snow on it. So I don't think she's hiked here in a while. And then the other campsite is down there a bit, and that also has snow on it. Can't remember, and I'll end up showing you the map so you can see in case you feel like coming out here. But we're at campsite number 5. I know, I had good luck at campsite number 5 last time. 5 is my favorite number, so let's try number 5. And 5's up the hill. Okay, continue. Okay, you're gonna get a little wind noise. I'm sorry. But the girl at the ranger station needs to be... I need to go back in there and tell them how the condition of these campsites are. I guess no one's camped at these. But yeah, there's snow on the trail, or on the campsites. I left my shovel in my car because she told me, oh no, the campsites don't have any snow on them at all. Yeah, they do. I was talking to her in depth about, you know, trying to get out of the wind because it is really windy here. And, oh wait, we gotta do it, you guys, I'm sorry. It's just too bright. My eyes are starting to water. Okay. So, I have to get out of the wind, you know. So she said, oh, all the campsites are pretty good. They're all pretty much out of the wind and tucked into the trees. And I was like, okay. Yeah, it's windy. I'm on a ridge right now. I'm like up. Yeah, there's a lot of trees around me, but it's still pretty windy. Oh, I don't know which way the trail goes. Not that many people hike up here. I think I passed most of the day hikers. I think I did. I think this kind of looks like a trail. I didn't bring a topo map with me this time because, well, they had maps, and max that I'm going is 2 miles. So I didn't think I needed a topo map. I have a compass. Okay. I think mine is up on top of this mountain. Okay, maybe 5 isn't the right one. I don't know. Okay. Sorry, the sun's behind me. It looks cool though in the camera when it does that. I like that. Okay, let's get up to 5. We're climbing. You know what I forgot? I know what I forgot. I forgot sunblock. I forgot sunblock. Okay, so I can't see my screen. I'm like staring at the sun. You gotta put a little card. Had to put a little card thing on there. And now I have no idea where the tent spot is. Yeah. I don't know. Do you see it? Yeah. There's snow on these camping spots. Ooh, I'm up top. Oh. Okay. But honestly, this section's probably the only section I would need snowshoes for. But now I do wish that I brought I wish I brought my shovel. Because I'm gonna see. Oh, snow's getting in my boot. Man. Okay. I don't know where this tent spot might be. I think I just might make my own tent spot. Okay, I'm taking you along. That's what I do on these little camping adventures. I take you along on my decisions. The wind is coming from there, so it's really windy between those two trees. Over here is some pretty deep snow. There's a little like rock formation right there. But where I'm standing is kind of windy. Okay. I'm kind of thinking I want these rocks to kind of hide me from the wind. It's going to get chilly tonight. Okay, after scoping the area a little bit, I think the actual tent spot is there. You see my backpack's right there, and it's kind of walking around. I think that might be it. No benches here. I think it's just a tent pad. Doesn't it look like that might be one? Seems like it to me because you see how this area over here is pretty worn out, kind of. You can tell that a lot of people have been walking around this area here. So I think where all that snow is where you're supposed to put your tent. But there's a part of me that's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put my tent on the snow if I don't have to. There's some areas over here that just might fit better for me. I'm just looking around. Yeah. I don't know. No, I wish I had my shovel. It's cold. Okay, I'm having a hard time committing to this. I really am. I'm like, where am I going to spend the night? Okay, I've come down to two options. You tell me which one I should do. Man, I wish this was live video. You know, I actually checked and to see if I had any coverage. No, I have no service here. Okay, let me show you the two spots that I'm thinking. You tell me which one you would stay in, and then obviously I have to make a decision of which one I'm going to stay in. So the wind seems to be coming this way, and then 5 minutes later is coming this way. So I don't think I'm going to find a lot of protection from the wind. The sun is, I will show it when I show the camping spots, but the sun's going to set over there, but that is east, and I always pay attention. Well, I guess southeast I should be looking at because it's winter time, but you know, I always pay attention to east because in the morning's the coldest, and that's when I get grumpy. So I'm thinking this spot right here. Let me show you. Okay, this is spot number 1. It is on a slant. They're both on a slant. Everything's on a slant, just so you know. But I can move a lot of the debris around here. East is that way, so the sun's going to be coming up this way in the morning to warm my tent. So that's one of my thoughts. However, that is a dead tree. What do you call those, willow makers? That's a dead tree. I don't think that tree's going anywhere. I'll be honest, I really don't think that tree's going to be going anywhere. It's always a risk when you're in the wilderness. Trees are one of my biggest fears over, probably over man, over animals, is trees falling on me. Here's another really big tree. And again, this is the spot that I think is supposed to be made for tents. It's nice and flat, and you can see there's kind of a ridge on the side, so I think that's the spot for tents that they've put together. But right above it, you see this area right here? That's on a pretty good slant, and there's a lot of rocks in it. So you see all the rocks? I can't get rid of those. So that's choice number 2. Which one would you go for? Got my trusty mic on again. Love it. Okay, so remember I said trees are the one thing that scares me? I think I chose this. 2. Option 2. I think I chose option 2. Looks like this branch fell off. Get that out of the way. Ooh, windy. Windy. So I don't have to lessen the load in my pack, and I brought more camera gear stuff. I brought a tent that's not mine. I'm actually borrowing a friend's tent, and I'm going to grab it here out of my backpack so you can kind of see it. Ow, that was really windy. Okay, I don't recommend campsite number 5. Okay. Whew. So, did I tell you that the lady at the ranger station, or whatever you call it, she told me, she's like, oh, if you don't like your campsite, just come hike all the way back down and just tell us what campsite you want to be at. I'm not hiking all the way back down. That was a lot of work. I mean, yeah, I'd probably drop my stuff off at the campsite, but then I gotta hike all the way back up that hill. No, we're just gonna make this work in the wind. Okay, so I'm gonna come up closer so you can see it. Is it showing the brand name and such? There you go, so I don't have to read it. Pause the screen if you want to know. It's light, really light. This is like 4 pounds. This is still not a winter tent. This is considered a 3-season tent. But I am thinking somewhere here. Of course, now the wind's coming this direction. And before it was coming from over there, and sometimes it comes from over there, so it seems to just be coming on every direction. This is not going to be comfortable. This is really not going to be comfortable. Okay, I know you haven't seen me put up this tent before, but I'm just going to put up a tent. I'm not going to film it. I'm just going to put up the tent, and I'll show you afterwards. See if I can get some of these are frozen to the ground. Some of these rocks out of the way. I think I might be able to lay down this way. It's still at a slant. You guys probably can't see it in the camera, but it's still at a pretty good slant over here. Yeah. I think if I were to choose a campsite out of all the ones that I walked by, I think I would have chosen campsite number 1. You know? I think campsite number 1 was the best one. Okay. I know I don't have my camera positioned just perfectly due to the light. The light's behind me. I do get comments on that, but it just happens to be convenient to put my camera there. Right now, I'm about convenience. Let's get my shelter up, and then I'll talk to you in a little bit. Find out what it is I forgot, because I always forget something. It's getting cold. It's been cold, but it's like, I still, like my underlayer is wet, which is a tank top. If you haven't watched what I wear in the wintertime, click here. Or I do have a recent video showing what I brought when I was winter backpacking, so you could see that. It is it's chilly. It's chilly. We're gonna zip up this jacket. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, you know what I'm gonna do? Just because my first layer's wet and I'm debating on taking it off, which is my tank top. But then I gotta get naked and it's really cold and I'm kind of close to a hiking trail and I don't want to get in my tent. Yeah, those are all the things that are going through my mind that I'm voicing to you. So, this is the one that I recommended on my last video. It's 18 hours of warmth. I am feeling it in my fingers, the tips of my fingers right now. They're going to turn white soon. Yes, I do have that symptom. What is it called? Reynolds? I know what it is. I just can't think of the name right now. But that's why, see, shake it. You guys probably hear it pretty well because it's in the microphone. So I'm going to put that on my inner body here. Stick this trash in my tent. Did we talk about the tent? So the tent's not mine. It is a 1-person tent, 3-season tent. It just means, let's see, the mesh comes up a little bit more. But still, mesh, I don't know what you call that bottom part, comes up a little bit more. On a true winter tent, you want that to cover pretty much the entire tent. There's still a lot of mesh here, which doesn't give me a lot of protection from the wind and the cold, but it is better than some of my other tents that I have because I am more of a summer backpacker than a winter backpacker, so this is kind of new to me. It's the second time heading out. I have backpacked a lot for the last 20-some years. Actually, more than 20 years. 22, somewhere around there. 22 years I've been backpacking in the summer. I teach wilderness classes to women. Summer wilderness classes, not winter. Who knows, maybe one day I'll do winter ones, but I really want to get this down on how to stay warm. If you notice, there was a sign coming in. I don't know if I showed you yet, but I'll show it to you right now. There was a sign that says no open fires. So I'm very, very familiar with that. I totally get that. You cannot have a fire here in the backcountry. This is actually a really dry area of Colorado. And even though there's a lot of snow on the ground, I get a lot of comments regarding that. There's a lot of rules in some areas of Colorado, and the closer I am to the city, the less fires I can have, pretty much. So no fire. So this is kind of a, maybe you can learn from me if you're looking to go winter camping and not have a fire to keep warm. You can possibly learn from me and find the things that I do. Even in the summertime, rarely do I make a fire. Fires, again, are really dangerous in Colorado because it is so dry here. I think if I was in like Washington or some other Oregon, some other areas that, you know, during their wet season, I think it would be really nice to be able to have a fire. So I try to stake this tent down, but it's only going in like an inch. The ground's frozen. You know, the ground's pretty frozen. Let me see if I can get this one in. I don't even know if you can see me. You probably can't see me. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's frozen. I can't get it in. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get this kind of all set up. Last time I had my backpack in my tent. I'm not expecting weather. But you never know in Colorado. You could have some snow flurries. We had snow flurries the other morning when we weren't supposed to have any snow. This is definitely colder than my last winter camping. Like my hands are too cold in these little gloves, which I was wearing the majority of the time in my last one. And it's supposed to be 4 degrees warmer. But because of the wind, it's taken its toll. Like, I have the chills right now. So I gotta get warm. Inside my tent, I'm away from the wind, which is nice. But my tent, totally missed it. You totally missed it. Tent totally blew over. All my gear, everywhere. It was, yeah. So we're gonna figure out how to, I got some paracord. I got some Kyla paracord. She got this for Christmas. Isn't that nice, huh? This is what my girls get for Christmas. And Kyla's my daughter. She's a 12-year-old. You could see her in some of the videos. I don't shoot as many videos with the kids anymore, or I probably won't, because of all the new rules with YouTube and stuff. Let me move the camera. That way you can see me a little more. Kind of tell you what I'm doing. So I can't do anything in the ground, so that's why the tent was flying all around, because I can't put anything in the ground. This is why it's really important when you're backpacking. One of my biggest piece of gear is just some paracord, some cordage of some sort is always really good. Come on. My hands are getting really, really, really cold. I think it's only about 2 o'clock right now. I think campsite number 1 is probably already, the sun has set over there because it was kind of in a valley. However, they don't have any wind over there. I kind of prefer that. I really do. So do you see this rock over here? I'm not sure if it's in the camera, but I'm just going to tie it around this rock. That way, I just need it to stay upright. When I'm in there and it was really blowing, you could tell that it was like leaning on me. So at the middle of the night, what's going to end up happening is that it's just going to fall over on me all night. It'll give me shelter to the wind, but it's not going to be a fun experience. Sometimes, you know, these winter things, they're not always fun. They're just more challenging. Do you hear the little birds? Those are pretty. Oh, this one already has a cord on it. That's nice. Does it reach? No, of course it doesn't. So I'm just tying like everything to rocks or something that's on the ground is what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of talking you through my thoughts. Oh, that wind's cold. It's going to make it tough to even use my stove. This wind. I can't really move these rocks to create a barrier. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to finish tying up the tent and then I'm going to show you what I did. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. I don't even remember what I was saying. Anyways, tent's tied up. I'm going to give you a little tour. I don't know if you noticed, but I put on my winter ski pants, like snow pants. I have another layer of a sweatshirt I put on. I put on my neck warmer, and in fact, I should probably put up my hood if I can find my hood. There we go. Oh, there we go. Just a little bit, because it's chilly. This is definitely colder than my last backpacking, winter backpacking. This is definitely colder. Now it's supposed to get to 17 degrees, somewhere around there, but because of the wind, I don't know where it is, but it feels like 2 degrees, you know. Feels really cold. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, yes, this is what I was saying. Was that somebody asked me, you know, hey, if in a survival situation, you better make a fire even though there's no fires are allowed. And yes, in a survival situation, I will make a fire. Now, this with the wind, the way the wind is right now, would be really kind of tough. And the fire really probably wouldn't do me too good. It'd probably be better for me to walk around and hike, you know, to get warm or something. But if I had to make a fire, I would, and I would just pay the fine for it. But I wanted to let you guys know that I'm not here just to. And my car is not too far away, too. I mean, it's still a hike. It was a hike to get here, but you know, a lot of the day hikers, this is where they went to turn around. You know, so it's a pretty good hike, even though it's not that many miles. It's just a lot of snow and ice and stuff. Okay, let me give you a tour of what I did. Okay, the little tour. So what was happening was the tent was falling over. It was kind of falling this way and just flattening on the ground, and all my gear went off that way. Everything spilt. Everything was being blown away. We got a big gust of wind that came through here. I have this one tied to this rock. And again, if you remember, the ground is frozen, so I can't put anything in the ground. This one is tied to this tree stump. You know, you just be creative. You just figure it out, you know. And so I have 3 of them keeping my tent up. Now, currently right now, the wind is heading this way right into that tent, which is great. And I hope it stays that way because my opening's on the other side and I don't want it coming in that way. I like to keep it open. You can see here I try to put a stake in, but it just wasn't working. But you know, this is a 1-person tent, and these 1-person tent, you know, they just don't. There's just not a lot of room. Just not a lot of room. I ended up putting my backpack in there. If you see, I might just keep it in there and keep my feet up on the backpack or something. Oh, there's my hand warmer. No wonder I'm cold. And here's the other side. There's my sleeping bag and my extra pad that I had my last time. I've decided for these winter nights that I'm not going to bring Rocky. It's not fair to him. He doesn't have a lot of fun. He starts wanting to go home it's just too cold for him. It really is. It's just too cold. So maybe it's too cold for me too. I don't know. Anyways. No, it's good. I mean, these are fun little challenges that I'm doing, you know, these winter backpacking and stuff. It's challenging because it's so different than winter backpacking. I mean, summer backpacking. Because it's just all different gear, it's different struggles, and I'm trying to learn all through that, you know, and try to figure it out. I think it's really good for me to do this. There are times in the summertime where it's snowing, you know, so it's, you know, what did I do to survive, you know, in the winter? And I can use those same skills to survive in the summertime. Yeah. Ooh, my hands. I'm going to get my gloves on. I can't use my camera stuff and have my big gloves on at the same time because I can't work my camera, you know. It's a little tough. But yeah, it looks like it's a snow cloud that's coming this way, but it's not supposed to snow. But it looks pretty, like overcast is coming. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to heat up some water. That's like what I do to stay warm. I'm going to heat up some water. I'm going to put it close to my body. Try to figure out how, where I'm going to cook my stuff. So it's out of the wind. I don't know if you know, but using these little stoves in the wind, sometimes it doesn't work out so well. So I'm going to see if I can find a spot where it's protected by the wind. And we're going to have a nice dinner tonight too. I'll show you guys that later. Okay, so my goal right now is to get warm. So I'm going to do that, and I will chat with you guys shortly. Sometimes I laugh at myself. When that girl at the ranger station was like, "You're crazy." Yeah. It's because I'm up on this hill. She didn't give me the right camping spot. This is not the right camping spot. Number 1 would have been better. And I don't feel like changing it. I could just... I'm not moving. I've set up tent. I'm here. Okay, and I got a really good sleeping bag. And if you saw my last video, I actually slept through the whole night. Yeah, it wasn't windy, but I slept through the whole night in this sleeping bag. I made some blueberry tea. Blueberry tea. I love the blueberry tea. I didn't bring any hot chocolate or Bailey's or Jack or any of that. I was like, I gotta shed some weight, and I brought so much stuff. I brought so much camera stuff because I didn't know what the weather was gonna be like, you know. So I brought my drone, and I can't use it because it's too windy. And the batteries for the drone, which are really heavy. And then I brought a recorder. I still might use that though. And I'll do a separate video on my recorder, but it's like a mic, and I can record nature sounds. Now, the only nature sound I'm going to be recording is, it's going to be the wind. But that might be cool too. You know what I mean? I like that sound too. I just wanted to use it. I bought it and I haven't used it yet, and I wanted to use it. So warm on my face. I actually sealed up the tent right now because it's cold. Did you guys hear my stove? Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep my stove in my sleeping bag, maybe. I think so. Because it's too cold for the stove. Which is ironic, because the last time I was up here again, it was warmer. Oh no, it was colder. But because of this wind, it makes it even colder. They call it a wind chill for a reason. You want to know what's for dinner? Let me show you. Let me grab my stuff. Okay, what do we have here? We have some goodies. Okay, I can't go without a glove for a long period of time. So we're just gonna... Okay. My mom got me these. These are little mushrooms that have been dehydrated. Let me show you. There you go. It's a little mushroom. It's been dehydrated and has a bunch of seasoning on it. They're really hard. But what I thought I'd do is I'm going to soak these in water, and so then I can have some mushrooms with my dinner. So we have mushrooms, and they're really, really lightweight, and they taste really good. So they already have like all the spices you want. And here's dinner. I got a little bit more, just a little bit more fancy in my dinner. However, I don't know how I'm going to cook because my stove's not doing so well. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Ooh, this is leaking. That's leaking. That's not good. That's tomato sauce, just so you know. I rarely bring sauce for that exact reason, because it always, it's leaked all over. Oh yeah. For that exact reason. I never seem to find the right plastic baggies. And I rarely bring onions. This is onions, and I'm telling you, it is potent. It's potent stuff. Yeah, that's onions. Oh, I already chopped them, so that way I didn't have to use my knife, so in case I'm out here by myself, you really don't want to use your knife unless you have to. And then I have like some sausage. Da, 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 da. Isn't that cool? That's a lot of sausage. So I'm basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hydrate the mushrooms, and then I'm going to put the sausage in and the sauce, and in fact I might be cooking that earlier, even though it's like 3 o'clock or something right now. I might be cooking that earlier because it's going to get super cold, and I'm going to get in my sleeping bag around probably like 4 o'clock. Yeah, that's winter backpacking. I have some, these are really good. These are dehydrated raspberries. And for breakfast, I have my normal oatmeal. Oh, and then I got a treat. I always have a treat. I got Milky Ways this time. Yes. Okay. Oh, and then I got some pita chips that have broken. But they still taste good. It doesn't matter. They are like jalapeno pita chips. Oh, and I got one more thing to share. It's like share and tell. I got these are beets. Let me show you, beet chips. So it's different than a potato chip, I think it's healthier. But they're beets, and they're, you see what it's focusing on me. I don't know if it's gonna focus on it, but they're really cool. They feel like potato chips. I'd say the first time I tried them, I didn't really like the taste as much. But I've been eating these, and these are really good. So now I really like it. But it takes some getting used to, because you're like expecting a potato chip feel, and it tastes like beets. I don't know. Trying to go healthier. Okay. Woo. Maybe I go for a hike or something. I gotta do something to warm up. Maybe I go walk around for a little bit. Maybe I do that instead of sitting. I need to move. Do some squats. Because the last thing you want to do, learn this, the last thing you want to do for winter camping is get into your sleeping bag when you're already cold. You don't want to do that. I have a hand warmer in here. I don't have one in here, but I'm trying to reserve my hand warmers and my body warmers and stuff until later tonight when it's going to be really cold. Okay. See you in a bit. Let's go for a little walkabout. Did I not hit record? No. I just ate that mushroom. And it was yummy. Okay, super cold. Super cold. Let's get this done. I'm a mess. This is a mess. Okay, so it's done. You see it? It's done. It didn't cook the way I wanted it to because the wind. Because of the wind. It made it that the stove, I needed a barrier for the stove. I don't have one. Oh, it's good. It's good, but it's not like I like my my sausage to be kind of crispy a little bit. It's not crispy at all. It's still kind of raw like. I couldn't get it to get hot enough because of the wind. So I think what I'm going to have to do is when I heat up some more bottles of water and stuff to keep me warm, I think I'm going to have to take my stove somewhere else where it's like isolated and heat up the water there, which really kind of sucks because a lot of times in the middle of the night, if I'm cold, I just lean outside my tent and heat up hot water. Well, I'm not going to be able to do that on this trip. I'm eating dinner early. It is so windy. I thought it was snowing. I did. I thought it was starting to snow. Not supposed to snow. When I was talking to the ranger girl, she said, "Oh yeah, it's always windy here." I'm like, this is beyond windy. Like, this is like blizzard conditions without the snow. You bring snow into the mix of this? Ooh, it's not supposed to snow. Okay, I'm gonna eat this. I don't want to have you watch me eat. So I'm gonna eat this, and then we're gonna be hanging out in the tent together. It sounds like. I'd love to. I wanted to do drone footage and all this stuff for you. Things didn't go to plan. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Bon appetit. That feels good. That was good. That was really good. Like that filled up my stomach, made my core really nice and warm. Feeling good, feeling positive. I got a plan. Always got a plans. I don't know what time it is. Let's just see what time it is, because I'm curious. It's not like I'm going to be out of sun because it's behind a bunch of clouds. 4 o'clock. So what do we got? An hour of daylight? Something like that. An hour. Hands are cold, so I'm having issues with my hands. I do have a bunch of hand warmers. I just don't want to use all of them right now. I want to kind of wait until, if I can wait till like 6 o'clock, and then I can start opening them. I do have that one body warmer one that's sitting right here. My belly's nice and warm. I have, I didn't really bring as many like little tiny hand warmer ones, but I did bring 2 more of these body warmer ones, which I'm going to end up putting in my sleeping bag when I get in there, because I don't think I can count on my water being nice and toasty and warm, because I can't get it to boil that easy, and it's using the majority of the fuel. So I always want to save always a little bit for emergencies, you know, so in case like there ends up being a blizzard, I don't want to use all my fuel, because I just in case, you know. And yeah, if there's a blizzard, I'll tell you, I'll pack up my stuff and go to my car and leave. That's, you do not want to be in blizzard. I'll end up doing that. I don't know if I'd hunker down. So I'm going to heat up some more water if I can, and I got to do my dishes. I did hit record. Yeah, this is what it's like in a one-person tent. There's no room. I'm trying to find my batteries. Okay. So this is what's happening. I am sliding down the hill. I really hope I can't get this right here. I can't get this from sliding and going outside of the tent. Yes, you are outside the tent right now. Oh, goodness. My batteries just keep losing power. How many batteries I got left? I got 3 batteries left, and I went through 3 batteries. I have a hand warmer inside with my batteries right there. Yeah, for a one-night camping trip. And yeah, I record a lot. These are longer videos when I do my camping trips. But yeah, I go through a lot of batteries, and I have no way of charging it. I just bought something online that's gonna help me charge my batteries while I'm out here. But when it gets to that point, then I just oh goodness, I know I have more batteries in here. So I'm toasty right now. I've been in the tent for a bit. I got all my hot water in my sleeping bag, so I'm pretty toasty right now, and so I think it's good. Everything's good, except I keep losing stuff. I'm losing light. You can't tell. It's much brighter in there. It is 5:15 right now, and so I think it's what I expected. It's time to open up my 18-hour body warmers too, because they'll last the whole time. So I'm just kind of, what I'm doing right now, I'm just situating my tent. I keep you guys on all my stuff. So just so you know, that's how these videos go when I'm camping like this. I just kind of tell you everything that's going on. And right now, everything's sliding outside my tent, and I'm trying to stay in the tent. Yeah, deep breath, Tam. Deep breath. Okay, I'm gonna get situated so that way I'm comfortable. And then we're gonna chat. I don't know what we're gonna chat about. We gotta chat about something because it's 5:15 and there's no way I'm going to bed, so you are keeping me company. So don't leave yet, because or else I have no one to talk to. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. You see how I changed it so the airflow? I still have a little bit of a leak right there, but that's pretty much as close as I can get it. It's kind of sagging a little bit, but it's not as windy as it was. So now I could probably fly my drone. But I'm nice and toasty and warm in here, so I'm gonna stay inside right now. It is 4:20 right now. Didn't I say I lose light? Ooh. Maybe we stick this over here. Oh no, did I say 4:20? It's 5:20. It's 5:20 right now. I have another light too, which I have brought. And in fact, I think I'm going to do a video on all of my camera gear, because I think somebody's asked about like my camera gear. Oh, is it not working now? Oh, that was weird. Is it too cold? The troubleshooting. Oh, the battery's not all the way in. There we go. User error. So I was experimenting on lights and stuff, while I'm filming inside my tent. And I used it on my last one, and a lot of my weight last time was were a lot of my lights and batteries and stuff. So I only brought one battery, and that is just to charge my phone. Not that I have any coverage, because I don't. I'm currently on airplane mode too. So, but I'm used to it. If you end up hiking in Colorado, just make sure that you don't rely on your cell phone, because once you get off any of the main roads, you're pretty much out of coverage. So what would you like to talk about? It's 5:20 and I'm not ready to go to bed yet. And all I have is, I have a piece of paper and I have a pen. I didn't bring my book. So maybe we talk for a little bit. You know, if you guys ever have any questions or something you want me to answer, I will be doing that. That's kind of nice. It gives me something to talk about in the tent, you know. I will be talking about the cabin soon, so I am going to do a video on that. I don't know when, but once I start on the cabin, you're going to get more and more videos on the cabin. So I'm just kind of waiting for some decisions to be made in the financial side of it before I start talking about it. But I will be talking about the cabin here soon, because things are going to start moving here soon. Like, things are going to start happening. And I have been talking about it on my Pt1 account already. It's just I'm going to wait for more edited type videos on my YouTube account. So if you want to know ahead of time about the cabin stuff, you're more than welcome to go on, join my Pt1 for that. So what should we talk about tonight? Something fun. Let's talk about something fun. You know what? I got an idea. Let's, and I have a story about it too. I have a story. I'm like, how am I going to say it? Some people tell me, you know, I talk too much about my personal life. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that talk a lot more about their personal life than I do. I would say there's a lot you don't know. So let's talk about my dating life. You want to talk about that? Yeah, let's talk about that. That's kind of fun. I actually have a story about it. And I have an epiphany. I'm cold. I gotta situate, because the back part doesn't have a sleeping bag around me, and I need it. It's chilly. But you hear that? No wind at all right now. Must be something with the sun that makes it windy. Yeah. No wind. Okay. My dating life. I'm like, where do I start? So like this fall, I was dating, or I'm starting to date, you know, and I went back online. And I was like, I just want to see what's out there. The thing is that you guys don't understand is that I work from home, so I don't meet that many people because I work from home. And my office is actually in Texas. So if I'm going to meet anyone, it's probably going to be in Texas. And I'm in Colorado, so that doesn't work out for me. Okay, so I got a funny story. I went online, and if you haven't been online, because I know a lot of people that are watching my channel are married and they've never experienced the whole online thing, and consider yourself very lucky that you have not experienced it. I am currently offline now. I do not want to go back online again. I will find someone the organic way, is how I see it. So I went online, and you know, I guess you swipe different ways, and if you like someone, you swipe one way. If you don't like him, you swipe another way, and you only base it on pictures only, and then maybe like 2 sentences. And so that's always what's really hard for me, because you really don't know the person when you say you like them, you know. And so you swipe that you like them. They're like, oh, she likes me. I'm like, I don't know, you're hot. Just saying. Okay. Oh, and my camera, it's cold, so if my camera keeps getting blurry, it's probably because it's cold, and I move a lot. I have expressions when I'm talking. So I went online, found this guy, and he was wearing a backpack, and he was in the mountains, and I'm like, ooh. So I swiped the right way to say I like him, and he swiped his way saying he liked me, and then we started talking a little bit, you know, and I'm always pretty open to be like, you know, I don't know you, you don't know me, I can't say that I like you yet, you know. I mean, I didn't say that to him, but that's what I'm thinking in my head, is just like, who are you, you know, what's your name? But he's like, hey, I'm looking for a girl that could go up in the mountains and backpack with me, and who's not scared to be in the wilderness. And sorry, I got a hair in my face. Is not scared to be in the wilderness, and you know, could keep him company out there. And he does backpack a lot, and he's just looking for a companion right now. And I was like, ooh, that's right up my alley, because that's exactly what I'm looking for. So. And he's like, oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. And for some reason, he took a turn. And I don't know why he took a turn, but he took a turn. And again, I've never met him. Never met this guy. Even today, never met this guy. And he ended up saying, he's like, I'm not sure if you're a wilderness girl. And I was like, I'm not. He says, I'm really looking for someone that can be in the wilderness, and I don't know if that's you. And I'm like, okay, is he just trying to push me away, or what's going on? You know what I mean? Because I didn't say anything that would hint to him that I wasn't a wilderness girl. So he's like, I'm going to give you a couple test questions. And I'm like, oh, you're going to test me? And I think I actually wrote that down too. I was like, really? You're going to test me to see if I'm a wilderness girl? And I was like, okay, shoot, go for it. You know, and so he asked me a few questions, and one of them was like, name a wilderness within the next 2 minutes or something. I don't know. He gave me like a timeline. I don't know, maybe it was seconds. Name a wilderness area that you like. Well, I named one because I have wilderness areas I like. And he's like, oh, you probably looked that up online. And I was like, okay. And I'm still kind of interested, but yet I'm like, okay, what's going on? First of all, I don't like being tested. I don't like someone telling me who I am when they don't know me. So then he started going off on more things. He's like, you seem like the type of girl that you just would bring your stilettos with you, and I would take you in the back country, and you would go a mile and then say you have to turn around and go back home because you don't like it. Really? I seem like that kind of girl? Now, the pictures that I have on my profile was me backpacking. I'm day hiking with my dog, and I think another one was backpacking. I might have been in it. I don't know if I was in a tent or not, but anyways. And then I had one sitting at my office where I looked pretty, you know, like I had makeup on and I looked pretty. So I think that he saw that I looked pretty, or maybe he didn't scroll through the other photos or something like that. I don't know. And I said, well, I really do like the backpack. And he's like, yeah, but do you even own a backpack? And I'm like, okay, at this point, trust me, I was done. I was done. I did not want to date this guy. You know what I mean? But now it became entertaining. You know, I was like, how much is this guy going to put me down for being a woman because he thinks that all women do not backpack, hike, camp, anything. So then I asked him, I was like, well, how often do you go backpacking and hiking or camping? And I got to cut this short. I'm going through too many batteries. That was another battery. Okay. Where was I? Okay, dating life. Met this guy online. And I asked him, okay, he was aggravating me. And I asked him how often does he go camping? You know, since I was like, well, since you're this wilderness guy, how often do you go camping? And he told me he goes 20 to 30 times a year. And he's like, I don't know if you can keep up with me. Yeah. He never asked me how often I go camping. Nope, never asked me. I don't know if I'd tell him if he did, though. But just so you guys know, I camp 60 to 70 days a year. So I'm almost like 3 times more than him. And I teach wilderness classes to women. And like, you know, I'm out here in the wintertime. I'm in a tent right now filming this. I hope this guy's watching this right now and being like, man, I could have had a chance at that girl. I doubt it. I doubt it. Part of me thinks that he might have saw that I had kids and was just trying to find a way to get rid of me, rather than saying that, oh, you have kids and I didn't realize it. That's truly what it probably is. So anyways, he went back and forth and, you know, putting me down basically, saying how much I don't know the wilderness based on my looks. You know, because it was only like one picture I looked pretty in. The other ones I was just out there I think they were Spirit Forest photos, you know. And then he ended up, what did he end up saying? He's like, I don't want to have to teach someone how to backpack, is what he told me. And you know, obviously I don't want this guy, but I was entertained. And I ended up saying to him, I said, well, maybe you can teach me to be a wilderness girl. His last response to me was, I'm not here to teach anyone anything. I'm like, this guy has no idea who he's talking to. He literally just looked at me based on a picture that I had online, or that I had kids. I don't know, that's a possibility. And just said no. You know, like, no. Anyways, okay, so here's my epiphany on this thing, is that I've been on a few dates. I don't want to tell you how many, because it's been a lot, but none of them have been really anything to pan out. No, nothing. I did go on a date with one guy. He was really super nice. Went on 4 dates with him. Then I found out he was in prison before that. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, they don't say that in their profile. But he was super nice, but I was very cautious. But anyways, I don't know. I went on a hike with him. I told him, I said, I'm going to go on a hike. Do you want to go? And I went to a public place, like really popular trail. And I just kind of wanted to see, you know, if that's something that he likes. Because I'm truly looking for a partner to hike with. I mean, I don't want to hike alone. I don't want to be like this, what I'm doing right now, alone. I don't want to do that anymore. You know, like, I've been doing it for so long, and yeah, I can do it, and I'm not scared and all that, but it's like, it'd just be nice to share it with somebody. Of course, then I probably wouldn't be recording this video if it's someone else in the tent. Anyways, where was it? Okay, so I took him on a hike, and we went in 1 mile, and he was dying. I mean, this guy was a big guy. He was a muscle guy. Like, he was huge, like big muscles. And usually don't go for that, like a, what do you call him, gym rat kind of guy. You know, I usually don't go for those kind of guys just because they're in the gym all the time and they can't do anything because they got to go to the gym. Anyways, okay. So I took him on that hike and he was dying. And I would consider it a moderate hike, you know. So I stopped and I told him, I said, and this is our 4th date, and I said, are you ready to head back to the car? And okay, I didn't even think it was a mile. It might have been a half mile to 3/4 of a mile, something like that. And he's like, yeah, we need it. I think we should. And I'm like, I was like, okay. So we head back to the car, which was downhill, and he was happy. And we get to the trailhead at the end, and I said, so did you have fun? You know? And he said, dude, how many miles did we do? I told him we did 2 miles, but really it was like a little more than a mile, you know? And then I could tell, he took me out to lunch after that, and I could just tell that he was like, you and I are really different, you know? Like, what I like and what he like is very different. You really get to know somebody when you hike with them. And I've gone on a couple hiking dates, you know, and you really get to know someone. And I told one guy I went on a hike with, I said, and it was like the first date actually, and because he was a hiker, you know, I told him that I wasn't interested in him. Well, he smelled like alcohol, you know, and I didn't like that. And he wanted to party and he wanted to travel the world, and I have kids, you know, I gotta stay. I mean, he seemed like he'd be a lot of fun. Maybe too much fun. but yeah, so I told him no. And then went on some other dates too. I found guys that, you know, I was trying to go for ones that didn't hike too, you know, and as soon as I talk about my backpacking or hiking or any of that, they all get this like stare eye thing, like, you're crazy, like, I don't know if I want to be with you. So, but and again, I started evaluating this. If I talk about that I'm an artist and I love to paint, and I have a new mural that I'm going to do, which I do. I have a new mural that I'm going to paint. You know, they're interested in me, and I will get a call back. But if I talk about me being in the outdoors, being in a tent, and all that, they don't call me back, you know. And I don't know. I you know, then I was like, well, maybe I'll just go on. And again, I was testing it out, you know, I was. And there were some of them I wasn't interested in, you know what I mean? Actually, there wasn't any of them I was interested in. And I'm not really that picky, at least I didn't think I was, but maybe I am now. But I told, I just think if I talk about my artwork and how I like to paint, and then I'm a graphic designer, they like me. You know, and they're interested. But when I talk about being in the wilderness, it scares them. You know, it really does. And I'm a strong woman. You know, like mentally I'm very strong. I'm very secure. I'm very confident in myself. And I think that there's a lot of men out there that don't like that. You know, they want to be the one that's confident. They want me to be able to turn to them for help. And I don't do that. You know, it's like, I want a man in my life, but I do not need one. And I think sometimes men, and I'm generalizing, you guys, I'm generalizing. In my experience, a man needs to feel needed. So I have learned that in my new dating life, is that I've learned to back up a little bit. Don't be that confident, strong-willed woman that's going to take on the world in the wilderness, and if a bear comes, I got this, you know. Sometimes a man likes to be in that man role and wants to take care of the woman. And I need to sometimes just sit back a little bit and let them do stuff, even if I know how to do it. So that's what I've learned in my dating life. I am now offline. I do not want to be offline. Or I do not want to be online anymore. I don't want to do that. I really feel that those are like people that are dating and they're, what's the word I'm thinking of? They're trying to order. It's like Amazon, and you're trying to order your girlfriend, you know, and you're filling in all the filters. And I don't like that. And if I'm going to meet someone, I'm going to meet them organic. Like, that's what I decided. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm building a cabin. You know, I'm raising kids. Kyla now is at swim 4 days a week. I'm driving her to swim practice. Madison's in sing practice. It's like, I don't have time to date. You know? But it's good. Like I'm happy right now. You know, I'm happy, and it will happen when it happens, and that's how I see it. And I will find the right person when that person comes along, and hopefully they're okay with me being in a tent, you know, and hopefully they're okay with me being a confident woman too. I just need to make sure I lessen my confidence. Give them a chance to show me that they're a man. That's what I need to do. Give them a chance to show me that they can take that man role. That's what the man needs. That's what I've learned. Okay, I don't want to go through this battery too much. And it's only like, I'm going to guess it's 6 o'clock now. So I am going to turn off my camera and I will see you in the morning. And hopefully the wind will be just like this and it won't be windy. It's completely silent right now. Completely silent. Except me talking. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks for joining me. This video probably posted on a Tuesday, so my next part 2 will post on Thursday. So I'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.